Okay, I'm here to show you how to make Italian style meatballs. Okay, I'm going to go over the basic ingredients. Salt and pepper to taste. You need 2 cups of breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, a cup of Romano cheese. This is ingredients good for 2 pounds of chopped meat, bunch of parsley, 2 nice garlic cloves. I like to use 1 clove per pound of meat. Okay, I'm going to go over now how to chop the parsley. You definitely want to make sure, one of the safety factors is you want to make sure you have a nice sharp knife. Nothing worse than having a dull knife, because that's how most people hurt themselves. All I'm going to do, this has been rinsed off. I chop this, we don't need this. Now I'm going to begin to chop the parsley fine. You can use a food processor if you want. I figure let me show you how to do it with a knife. And you just basically want to take it up and down like a seesaw. The old time Italians use what's called a mezzaluna, which is defined as a half a moon. It's kind of a blade type instrument. It's like basically a crescent moon. I like to use the knife like this. I'm going to continue chopping the parsley like this till it's nice and fine, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're back. I finished chopping the parsley. Here we go. Now I'm going to go on to the garlic. A lot of people like to buy these kind of fancy peelers to do their garlic. The best way to take the skin off of garlic is just to take your knife, give it a little chop. Comes right off, no problem. Don't waste your money buying all these kind of fancy peelers for garlic. Comes right off the skin. And now I'm going to do the same process I did with the parsley. I'm going to continue to chop this until it's nice and fine, and then we will go on to the next step. Now we're back and we're going to start mixing everything together. Important thing to remember is that have all your ingredients ready, because once you start touching the raw meat, you don't want to be reaching all over the place to get all your ingredients, because then you got to wash your hands every time. So I like to get everything assembled together and ready to go. Alright, I'm just going to simply take the chopped meat, put it in here, just break it up just a little bit. You don't want to overwork the meat, because what happens then, meatballs come out very, very dense. You want to stay away from that. Just break it up a little bit. I'm going to put a little salt in. I'm going to take only 1 cup of my breadcrumbs and sprinkle that in, because later on we're going to use the other cup of breadcrumbs to coat the meatballs. I'll take my parsley, throw that in there, the chopped garlic, sprinkle that in there. Can't forget the cheese. Take my eggs, crack them in there. Well, be careful you don't get, don't get the shells in there. I've been doing this for a while, so pretty good at doing it. Now I'm just going to continue to mix this up. Nice. Keep in mind you don't want to overwork it. Parsley. And make sure everything's nice and mixed. See the mistake I made already? I didn't put any pepper in it, and I got my hands all full of the chopped meat. So I'm going to sprinkle a little pepper in later on and be done with it. So now after this thoroughly mix, we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're back. What I've started to do, I have my mixture ready to go, and over here on the oven, I like a nice cast iron pan. When I start, I put it on low heat just to start getting the oil nice and hot. So now what we're going to do is that remaining set of breadcrumbs, I'm going to take it, sprinkle some of it on here, coat the pan a little bit, and later on now what we're going to do with this is roll the meatballs in there when we're done taking them. So now I'm going to think about maybe the size of a golf ball, a little bigger, and all I'm going to do is take them and roll them like this and put them down. Some people like to use a ice cream scoop, 2 tablespoons of maybe a regular spoon. Like I said before with the eggs, I'm kind of used to doing this, so I'll get a feel for it. Once you get some practice, you'll be there. Same thing as the meat before. When I was mixing it, you don't want to over roll the meat. What happens with that is you start to compact it, and the meatballs come out. They come out like pretty dense, almost like the inside of a golf ball. You don't want that to happen. So you just take them, roll them gently, like this. And I'm going to continue to do this till I'm all done with the meat here, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're back now. We're ready for the final product, the final process before we fry the meatballs. You can fry the meatballs or you can bake them. kind of old school, so I like to fry them. Some people prefer to bake them, a little less calories, but I personally think they taste better when you fry them. All right, so I'm just going to take the meatballs now. Just going to give them a little roll in the breadcrumbs like this. Going to continue to do that until I'm all done with all of them. Not too heavy, just put a little coat on them. And then when you're all done with that, we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're back. Turned up the oil on high right now. Take a little piece, throw it in there, starting to sizzle, you're ready to go. Just going to take the meatballs and start putting them in there, roll them around. You just want to lightly brown them. You don't want to cook them all the way through, because eventually you're going to put them inside your tomato sauce and they're going to cook in there. You want to make sure the safety factor, the handle is not hanging over here. Have small kids, or even if you walk by yourself, the last thing you need is this oil splashing on you. So that'll definitely leave a mark. Okay, so what am I going to take them? You can use tongs, or I just take them, put them in there. Don't overcrowd them. 5, 6 of them in there. Don't let them start cooking. As they're cooking down, all I'm going to take, doesn't take that long. You can see they'll start to turn. See, they're starting to turn gray, light brown. I'm going to continue to do that with all of them in here. And as they're cooking, I'll just keep rolling them like this. Like I said, you just want to get a light brown coating all the way around. And once I'm done with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the sauce. Alright, so let me do a couple of these. Let them get them nice and brown, then I'll show you, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, as you can see, golden brown. All I'm going to do is take them now, give them a little shake, drop them right in there. And as I'm doing that, so the oil doesn't get too hot, I'll throw a couple more in there. And now basically, I'm going to continue to do this till they're all done. A couple of safety factors. Every time you wash your hands and you go near this oil, you definitely want to make sure you don't drip any water into this oil. So that it'll instantly turn to steam and the hot oil will splatter on you, and that it will burn. Then that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave them in there. It's fresh tomato sauce that hasn't been cooking that long, so they're going to probably sit in there for about 3 hours. It's a nice low flame. They'll cook all the way through. They'll be nice and moist, and you're just going to have a nice meal. You boil yourself a nice bowl of hot water, get some little pasta in there, throw the sauce on with the meatballs, and you're done. You want to learn how to make sauce? Yeah, real easy to make. Look at any recipe book. Tomato sauce is one of the easiest things you can make. Alright, so that's pretty much how you make classic Italian meatballs. Enjoy!